You call waking up at 5 a.m. discipline? Spartan boys were torn from home at 7, slept on bare reeds through winter, and endured brutal training for 13 years. They weren't chasing likes or abs. They were serving something greater than themselves. Before you hashtag your next gym selfie, ask, what are you truly disciplined for? Remember the Spartan code. Return with your shield or on it. Welcome to the life of a Spartan warrior. Today's culture loves to throw around the word discipline like it's an Instagram hashtag. Wake up early, hit the gym, post your protein shake, and suddenly you're disciplined. But if you want to understand what discipline truly means, what it costs and what it creates, you need to step back 2,500 years and walk in the sandals of history's most disciplined warriors, the Spartans. Let me take you to ancient Greece. While Athens was building democracy and philosophy, Sparta was building warriors. Not just any warriors, the most feared fighting force the ancient world had ever seen. From the moment of birth, a Spartan child's fate was decided. Elders examined each newborn. If they found any weakness or deformity, the child was left to die on the mountainside. This wasn't cruelty. This was survival. This was Sparta. If you survived this first test, congratulations. Your real trials were just beginning. At age 7, boys were removed from their homes and placed in the agoge, the Spartan training system. Imagine being torn from your mother's arms at an age when most kids today are still watching cartoons. Your new home? Barracks filled with other boys, all preparing for the same destiny, to become a Spartan warrior. The food rations were deliberately insufficient. Why? To teach young Spartans to steal. But getting caught meant brutal whippings, not for the theft, but for the failure to remain undetected. There are accounts of Spartan boys who stole a fox, hid it under their cloaks, and allowed the animal to tear at their stomachs rather than reveal their theft. Think about that the next time you complain about meal prep. Their beds were reeds they collected themselves from the Eurotas River. No mattress, no pillow, just a thin layer between their bodies and the cold ground. In winter, they weren't allowed additional clothing, just a single thin red cloak all year round. And their education, combat, weapons training, wrestling, survival, pain endurance. They were forced to fight each other in brutal contests. The older boys would intentionally pick fights with younger ones to toughen them up. This isn't discipline, as we casually throw around the world today. This is a level of commitment most of us can't even comprehend. But here's where most people misunderstand Spartan discipline. It wasn't just physical. The Spartans weren't mindless brutes. Their training included music, dancing, and poetry, all designed to forge not just strong bodies, but unbreakable minds and spirits. The true power of Spartan discipline wasn't found in their ability to endure pain, though that was legendary. It was in their collective identity. The famous Spartan shield, the aspis, protected not just the warrior carrying it, but the man to his left as well. To drop your shield was the ultimate disgrace. Why? Because you weren't just failing yourself. You were failing your brother in arms. This is what most people miss when they talk about discipline today. True discipline isn't a solo journey. It's not about you against yourself. It's about your responsibility to something greater. So let me ask you, what are you being disciplined for? If your discipline is just about six-pack abs or social media likes, you're missing the point entirely. The Spartans didn't endure what they endured for personal glory. They did it for Sparta, for their brothers, for something beyond themselves. At the Battle of Thermopylae, 300 Spartans stood against a Persian army of hundreds of thousands. When told to lay down their weapons, King Leonidas had 4 words: "Come and take them." They knew they would die, every last one of them, but they stood anyway. That's not discipline for Instagram. That's discipline with purpose. So what does this mean for you? Am I saying you need to suffer like a Spartan to be disciplined? That you need to sleep on reeds and fight your friends to be considered worthy? But I am saying that real discipline requires 3 things the Spartans understood better than anyone. First, real discipline demands sacrifice, not just giving up things you don't want anyway. Real sacrifice means giving up good things for better things, comfort for growth, immediate pleasure for lasting achievement. Second, real discipline requires community. The myth of the self-made individual is just that, a myth. The Spartans drew strength from each other. Who are you accountable to? Who fights alongside you? Who would notice if you dropped your shield? Third, real discipline needs purpose greater than self. They didn't endure what they endured for. They did it for Sparta. What's your Sparta? What cause, what purpose, what mission is worthy of your discipline? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of what we call discipline today is just organized selfishness. Get in shape for yourself. Make money for yourself. Build your platform for yourself. But that kind of discipline will always fall short because it's missing what made Spartan discipline legendary. It was never about the individual. It was about the collective, the brotherhood, the state, something beyond themselves. Does this mean the Spartan way was perfect? Far from it. Their society had deep flaws. Their treatment of helots, the slave class, was brutal. Their singular focus on military excellence came at the expense of other developments. But their understanding of discipline, real, purpose-driven, community-reinforced discipline, that's something we've lost in our individualistic, comfort-obsessed culture. So I challenge you today. Stop hiding behind watered-down versions of discipline. Stop pretending that your morning routine makes you a warrior. Instead, find your purpose, find your people, find your cause, and then bring everything you have to it. Because real discipline isn't about what you do when everyone's watching. It's about what you're willing to endure when no one is. It's not about the rewards you receive, but the person you become and the people you serve. The Spartans had a saying for mothers to tell their sons as they headed to battle. They would hand them their shield and say, "With it or on it. Return victorious carrying your shield. Or dead, carried upon it, but never without it." What's the shield you're carrying? What purpose won't you abandon even when it gets hard? What mission is worth your total commitment? Find that, and you'll understand what discipline really means. So ask yourself, are you truly disciplined? Or are you just comfortable enough to pretend? The Spartans knew the difference. Do you? Think about the last time you gave up on something important. Was it because it was truly impossible? Or because it became uncomfortable? The Spartans didn't have the luxury of comfort. They embraced discomfort as the pathway to greatness. When we talk about getting out of our comfort zone, we mean trying something slightly challenging for a brief moment. For the Spartans, the uncomfortable was their zone. True Spartan discipline means understanding that your greatest growth happens precisely when you want to quit. It's recognizing that the voice telling you to stop is the same voice that keeps you ordinary. The Spartans silenced that voice through relentless training and unwavering commitment to their cause. If this message hit you where it needed to, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below with the purpose that drives your discipline. What's your Sparta? What are you fighting for? I'll see you in the next battle.